Hi everyone, Aaron Edel here from AWS. Today, I'm going to show you how you can add forecasts to your cloud intelligence dashboards. Forecasts can be a really important tool to figuring out where you're going with some of your usage, where you're going with some of your costs, and where you're going with some of the KPIs that you might be tracking for cost optimization. This is going to be a customization that you can add to any of your dashboards using Quicksight's forecasting built-in machine learning driven capability. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start with the cost intelligence dashboard, and then I'm going to show you how you can add some simple forecasts to visuals that you might already find within this dashboard. In the billing summary tab, we actually have forecasts already built into your template. These are going to be forecasts that are trying to forecast your invoice spend and your amortized spend. But let's try to get a little bit more specific with some of the forecasts. Let's say, for example, that you really want to forecast your compute spend. This graph here shows us our compute spend month over month, as well as our usage. So I'm going to take this and add it to a new tab, and let's call this tab Forecasts. When we take a visual, if you click on these three dots, you can select Duplicate Visual, and we're going to duplicate it to this new tab here. Forecasts must be a line graph. So we're going to actually remove some of these bar graphs here and just focus on cost. So change it to a line graph. Now we're going to take out our options here. And now we have a simple month over month EC2 compute cost. And all we need to do is select Add a forecast. Now there are options here that you can adjust. You can just forecast maybe the next 3 months. You can forecast backwards in time. This helps you determine how accurate your forecasts may have been to past data. And you can adjust other features. So we can see here that my actual spend is a little bit higher than what the forecast said. However, I'm forecasted to spend in November about $858, and with an upper bound of 1.21 thousand and a lower bound of $891. So this shaded area is my confidence interval. Let's see what else we can forecast. Let's forecast our usage. So I'm going to use the same EC2 graph. I'm going to duplicate this over to my forecast tab, and I'm going to change it to a line graph. And instead of cost, we're going to have usage. Now that we have usage, we're going to remove these other colors since we can only forecast one group at a time. Now we're forecasting my compute usage. This is the number of hours. If I add the forecast here, we'll see that my forecasted number of compute hours is forecasted to go down over time. So what's interesting here is that I'm forecasted to spend more, but to use less compute. If we go to the Compute Summary tab, we can see that this is because my savings plan usage is going down in favor of on-demand. So if that trend continues, this forecast will be accurate. This might actually alert me to the fact that I need to purchase more savings plans or reserved instances or use more spot. So forecast is a good way to get on top of your cost optimization journey. Let's see what else we can forecast. We can forecast just about any metric that you find within the Cloud Intelligence dashboards. Let's forecast how many gigabytes I'm going to be storing on S3. So I'll take this graph here, duplicate it over to my Forecasts tab, change it to a line graph, change this to usage. So I'm looking at gigabytes and remove these groups. Now I can add a forecast. So we can see that this forecast is a little spiky. It might be because there are spikes in the past. So one thing you can do is add a filter for time. So let's add a date filter here, and we're going to change it to relative dates. And let's see if we can just look at previous 7 months. And then what might be a good idea is to exclude the current month. Now we have a better forecast of what our S3 usage is going to look like going forward. You can add filters to specific accounts. You can add filters to specific operations. And in order to do that, we might want to move over to the Kudos dashboard so where we can see some of this more detailed data. Now we are in the Kudos dashboard. Let's add a forecasting tab. Now let's say we want to get very granular with some of our forecasts here. A lot of customers want to understand more about their data transfer, but we can also forecast some really specific data transfer information here. For example, maybe we want to forecast our get object operations that are going to occur in the future. So what I would do is take this visual, duplicate it to our new forecast section. We're going to filter it to just get operation. And then we're going to remove this group. Then we're going to change this to a line graph and add a forecast. Now we are forecasting our get object operations. So we might want to change this. into the future. In the KPI dashboard, we can do the same. We can create a new tab. So maybe we're interested in forecasting our Graviton spend, or we could forecast our potential Graviton savings. Now we have a forecast of what the future potential savings would be for Graviton and AMD using the KPI dashboard. With Amazon Quicksight, there is a lot you can do with forecasting and creating what-if scenarios. I recommend visiting the docs at aws.amazon.com for more information about how you can use Quicksight to forecast. I can't wait to see what kinds of interesting metrics and usage statistics you're going to forecast in the Cloud Intelligence dashboards. Feel free to share what you've built in the comments here or reach out to us at AWS. Thanks so much for your time.